Be courageous and be bold. Be brave enough to be yourself and go after the things that bring you joy. Let your light shine. Chase after your dreams and have the courage to follow your passions. Because together, we can accomplish anything.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the I Am Mom Summit. My name is Melissa Maker. I am a mom, an entrepreneur, and a cleaning expert, which I will get into more detail about shortly. First and foremost, thanks so much for being here with me today. I think you're going to get a lot out of this talk. I will be referencing my computer as that is where I have my talk laid out, so don't mind me. I want to give you a little bit of info just to get the ball rolling, just a bit of background about me. So I am 36 years old. I have no problem telling you my age, and I actually think it's helpful for a lot of people to hear my age. And again, you'll understand more as I share my journey with you. You'll understand more why age is important. Next up, I'm a mom. I have a 1-year-old daughter. Her name is Riley. She is the light of my life. So I definitely did not understand the mom life to the extent that I understand it now that I am in it, in the thick of it, and I know the challenge. I hate cleaning. That is very important for you to know about me. I am not somebody who loves cleaning. I did tell you earlier I'm a cleaning expert, and I'm going to explain to you how I got there. I've also recorded another talk for the I Am Mom Summit, all about how busy moms can cut their cleaning time and clean much more efficiently and effectively. Who doesn't love good cleaning tips? I'll have links to that down below for you so you can check it out as well. Also, any of the social media, follow any of the social media handles that you want to use to follow me, Instagram, YouTube, whatnot. It'll all be down there so you can check that out afterward. I'm going to go through my entrepreneurial journey with you because I think it's important for other women to hear what other women have done and accomplished in their lives. A lot of us have these aspirations to be our own bosses, whether it's a part-time thing, a full-time thing. Oh, we're going to have a cat join us as well. Or if it's something they want to do even as a side hustle, working at home as a stay-at-home mom. Whatever entrepreneurship means to you, it's helpful to know that other people have gone before you and to draw from some inspiration from them. That is certainly what I have done over the years. So I'm going to review my entrepreneurial journey with you and paint a picture for you as to how I have started and managed to successfully run 3 businesses, mostly working from home. And also, I want to share with you some of the things that I use as tips for success and time management, which I think will also be helpful. So my journey begins back when I was growing up. Oh, my husband's trying to attract the cat. Sorry, guys. This is live recording for you. My journey started when I was very young. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I just wasn't sure in what capacity I would be, and I wasn't sure what kind of business I wanted to start. I graduated from business school in 2005 here in Toronto. And I took the first job that was offered to me. Now, my major was a double major in marketing and entrepreneurship. And nobody wanted to hire somebody that had entrepreneurship on their resume because it sort of meant that they wouldn't be the best employees. Companies don't want to hire people who have that entrepreneurial gene in them because they know that eventually they'll just leave. So I ended up getting this job working at a bank. It was the first job that I was offered, so I just took it because I wanted to have a job. And I was doing commercial lending. It was incredibly boring. I was not happy, and I looked at my colleagues and the people around me, and I thought, this is not how I want to live my life. I don't want to be like this person in 30 years. But I was career focused, and I knew that I wanted to do something important and big with my life. I was dating somebody for 3 months at the time. That somebody's now my husband, Chad. And he, as an entrepreneur himself, he said to me, look, you're really young. I was 24 at the time. He said, why don't you just quit your job and start a business? And if all fails, you can just go back and get another job. And when I heard it put that way, it just felt simple. And when it was in my head, it felt complicated. So talking it through with someone really helped. Getting that little push of encouragement really helped. And that's what allowed me to hand in my letter of resignation a year to the day I started and go back to waiting tables, which is exactly what I did during university to help pay for my schooling. Now, of course, my parents weren't thrilled with me because they thought, excuse me, you just went through university and you had a good job. What's going on here? And when I had advised them of my plan, and the plan was to, wait tables and also figure out what sort of business I was going to start and put a business plan in place, they backed me. They believed in me. They said, okay, you got this, go for it. Now, while I was waiting tables, I didn't do it in vain. I kept my eyes and my ears open for opportunities at all times. So I made sure that I was talking to people, letting them know I was looking to start a business. I just wasn't sure what kind. And I also put it out to the universe and asked the universe to send me a neon sign and tell me what business I should start. And what happened was I just kept hearing people say how badly they needed a cleaning service in their life. Their cleaning lady wasn't showing up, they were late, they didn't speak English, they broke things, they were unreliable, and the list goes on. So I would hear that once or twice and I would think, okay, no big deal. But then it would just constantly come up and I couldn't ignore it anymore. So this sounded like a pretty decent business opportunity, except for the fact that I hated cleaning and I had no idea how to clean for myself, let alone how to clean professionally. But I believe in myself and I knew that if it was a good opportunity, I could learn how to do it. So I put a business plan together and I took it to my uncle, who is my business mentor. And he said to me, this looks like a pretty good business plan, but who's going to do the cleaning? And I said, well, of course I will hire people to do the cleaning. And he advised me, absolutely not. If you're going to do this business, you have to do all of the jobs in the business. You have to do the cleaning yourself. And at first I resented that, but afterward I realized, you know what? He's not wrong. And I rolled up my sleeves, I researched, I studied, and I figured out how to clean. From there, I built my business. I started to get clients by sending out flyers and networking and talking to people that I knew, and I just asked them to put out the word. I was still waiting tables at night, but I was cleaning and building my business during the day, and that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work too. And what I did during that time is I would just reinvest back into my business and figure out ways that I could make it grow. And of course, I took the information that I learned and eventually I was able to train other people so that they could clean the same way that I could. Also, while I was working, I was just refining my techniques and seeing what worked and what didn't. I was doing more research because cleaning, especially professionally, is all about doing it as efficiently and effectively as possible so that you get the happiest clients in the least amount of time. In 2008, the recession hit and I thought, oh my gosh, my business is going to close. So I should say I started my business in 2006. All of that was 2006. In 2008, this was 18 months later, the recession hit and I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to close my business. Who's going to want to use a cleaning service in the midst of a recession? And that year, our business actually grew by 500%. It was amazing. Because what I learned then and there is that no matter what's going on in the world, people still want their houses cleaned. So I had a pretty good business on my hands. I let the business do its thing for another 3 years. I was also able to stop waitressing in 2008. And then my husband and I decided to start making YouTube videos. In 2011, my husband and I finally got married, and that was the year that he said to me, you know, if we're looking for creative ways to market our cleaning service business, and we were always looking for ways to do it as inexpensively as possible, benefiting from our great website that ranked really, really well on Google, we were just trying to explore more ways to find free marketing opportunities. He suggested that we make YouTube videos as a way to build our client base. And he said, if we put cleaning tips out on YouTube, and you do them, Melissa, you know, you can talk about your cleaning business and we can put it in the tags and that will help drive people to our website. Sounded like a great idea at the time, except for the fact that we had no good camera equipment, which is opposite of what we have now. I have a proper mic, I have a proper camera setup. That's what I'm looking at right now. But back then we didn't We didn't have any good lighting, any good audio. I had zero camera experience. So it was basically just terrible everything on camera. And you can still see that video up on YouTube today. We put it up. I put out a cleaning tip, and then I asked people to leave questions in the comments, and that I would make more videos about that. We use those videos to promote our YouTube, our website. We told people about our cleaning service there, and what we quickly realized is that the people who were looking up how to clean on YouTube were not the same people who were looking for cleaning services in Toronto. But it wasn't a failed thing at all, because what ended up happening was our YouTube channel took off. We started to build an audience. We started to get lots of questions. We started to get sponsored deals. And now, 8 years later, that channel has over 1.1 million subscribers and over 160 million video views. It is unbelievable. I have worked with some of the largest brands in the world, from Dawn and Tide, OxyClean, Robitussin, Home Depot, Armstrong Flooring, Pantene, and many other big brands. I've had so many incredible opportunities. It's opened up doors for me as a cleaning expert. I work with many different publications, from Real Simple, Better Homes and Gardens, Reader's Digest, and so much more, to being on different TV shows like The Today Show, The Rachel Ray Show, a few big national shows here in Canada where I live, and so much more. I'll spend a little bit more time talking about YouTube later, but that is a large part of what I do every day, and we film videos each and every week. We also, while we were making that YouTube channel, realized that there was a need for premium microfiber cleaning cloths, which is something that I'm very passionate about as someone who knows a lot about cleaning. We would use them in our cleaning service, and they were premium quality. But the thing is, you couldn't buy premium quality as a regular consumer. You would have to buy it through a commercial cleaning company that supplies janitorial and cleaning businesses. So we saw a big opportunity there. And this was in 2015. My husband and I, he eventually quit his full-time job and started working in this business with us. The cleaning business now runs itself, but him and I work on our YouTube channel and our digital properties, along with 2 other people as well. So the team and I decided that we were going to create our own line of microfiber cleaning cloths. And these premium cloths, we sourced over 100 samples to find our absolute favorites. And once we found them, we put out a line of cleaning cloths called Makers Clean. That was in 2015. We have sold hundreds of thousands of microfiber cloths. I've had people test them against some of the biggest microfiber brands in the world, and ours finishes on top all the time. I'm very proud of that. Our cloths, it's like I can't pick a favorite business because it's like picking a favorite child, but it's like one of my most favorite things to do, because I'm so proud of those cloths, and they are truly amazing. In 2017, I came out with a book. It's called Clean My Space: The Secret to Cleaning Better, Faster, and Loving Your Home Every Day. It became an Amazon bestseller. That was a large project that I worked on. I am super proud of that book. It basically takes people like me who hate cleaning and don't want to or don't know how to do it, and it teaches them how to do it. And I've got links to my book down below, but yeah, I'm super proud of my book as well. And just in February, we launched an e-course for people who want to start their own cleaning business. And that was a project that I took on right after I had my daughter. She was at home. She was really small, so I was able to work on it during the day. I built that course up, and we just launched it very successfully. I am very excited to see how this first cohort does, and I'm busy in the Facebook group, kind of giving my pointers and tips and helping people out. Safe to say, I have a lot going on, but I have figured out some really effective ways to manage my time. And that is how I am able to have 3 businesses going after all these years. And you guys, I just want to do more. I feel like I'm not doing enough. I know it sounds crazy, but I think once you learn ways to refine your schedule and become super good at what you do, it's much easier to take on more things that interest you. So I want to share with you some of those business building skills, some of those entrepreneurial skills, because I think they'll be really helpful. My first strategy is what's called time blocking. Now, this isn't something that I've created, but it's something that I have used, and oh my gosh, does it ever work. And essentially what time blocking means is that you take all of your tasks, you write them down on a to-do list, you record how much time you think they're going to take, no matter how macro, how micro, and you put them in your schedule. There's an old adage that goes, what gets scheduled gets done. And I really believe that. And that sits at the core of time blocking. If you can block off, say, 20 minutes to do emails, 30 minutes to do banking, an hour to write a speech, whatever it is that you have to do, it's in your calendar. You've given yourself that focused time and you can get it done. One of the biggest challenges to a modern person's workday, especially if you're working at home or you're managing multiple things on the go, is that you can have your phone, email, kids, people, phone call, like whatever it is, text, like so many distractions can come in and take you away from your key focus. Time blocking means you zero in on whatever it is that you're doing. You give it all of your attention. You're much more effective that way and you get it done. Next up is hiring well. So if you're not at the point where you can hire someone, that's totally okay. If you feel like you're at the point where you're earning enough, you want to start hiring someone, whether it's a virtual assistant, an executive assistant, a part-time worker, a contract worker, whatever the case may be, bringing someone on can be amazing and scary at the same time, because now you're taking your little baby, your business, the thing that you've created, and you're putting it in someone else's hands, at least partially. So when you hire somebody, it's very important to have a clear job description. The worst thing that can happen is you're overwhelmed and you expect someone to come in, swoop in and rescue you and fix all of your problems. A, you don't have a job description, and B, you're completely reliant on that person's skill set. Instead, you can create a job description, you can hire and train for that specific job description so that you can give those tasks to someone else, pay less than what you'd be earning per hour to make more money and do more functional things. And you can feel better about the work that you do because you know the smaller things aren't piling up and that an adequate person is actually doing them. When you hire them, you want to make sure you're reference checking. You want to make sure you're doing any other background checks that are pertinent to the type of business you're running. And then of course you want to make sure that that person is reliable, they can spell, they have great grammar, they're clear communicators. So you want to do all of that in your preliminary interview work. And I would also say what's really important about hiring well is paying or compensating someone well. I'm not saying pay them 3 times what they're worth, but I'm saying you have to pay them very competitively in order to get a good person and in order to get them to stick around. Next up, and it has to do with hiring, is delegating. So once you have your own business, it's really important to know all of the tasks that have to be done within that business. And of course, if you're time blocking, that will already be something that you understand very clearly. If you've hired someone, of course, you have a job description, so you know the different tasks that have to be done. And you should have your own job description so that you know what tasks you have to do. Whenever you become too busy, you're going to need to delegate things. Now, delegation can feel super scary because, again, you're telling someone else to do something that you know how to do perfectly. Now, this is where the control freak in us can really bottleneck our growth and our success. Because if we're not willing to outsource or to delegate that work to someone else, everything piles up on our shoulders. We're stressed out, we're overworked, and we can't be functional. So what I've done is I've figured out what are the things that I am absolutely the best at doing, and what are the things that I absolutely love to do. Those are the things I don't delegate. Pretty much everything else gets delegated at this point because I can and I need to. Setting standards is also very important. So I know what I like in my business and I know how I like it done. If that means templating something, if that means coming up with a brand guide, whatever it means to you, having standards is key. It also makes it easier when you're working with other people or when you're training somebody on how you want things done. When you have standards, you don't have to reinvent the wheel each time. Following up and following through is another important skill that I think every entrepreneur needs to know. Not only is it's not so much a time management thing as it is a success thing, but I've heard that so much of business is lost because of lack of follow up. So following up to me means if I send out a proposal, if I've had a conversation with someone, if I'm waiting to hear back from somebody on something, it is my job, it is incumbent upon me to follow up on that initiative because ultimately those initiatives make money and I want to make sure that I am capitalizing on as much as I possibly can. So I know I keep emails in my inbox that I've sent out and then I know I need to follow up with that person, or I'll keep a running list of who I need to follow up with. And I usually send out an email a couple days later just to put it to the top of their mind and the top of their inbox so that I can hear back from them. Following through, on the other hand, means that you do what you say you're going to do. So when we promise something to a client, if I need to schedule it into my calendar so I don't forget it, if I need to make a note, if I need to delegate a task out to someone else, if I've promised something to someone, I must ensure that it gets done. Because if you drop the ball and you don't follow through, that's when you lose trust in your clients. So following up and following through, two very crucial things for entrepreneurs to know. And finally, and this goes right back to everything else we were talking about, especially time blocking, you have to schedule everything. At this point, I schedule in all of my tasks for the day, from sending emails so that I don't forget them. It's sort of like a new version of a to-do list. And that way, when things are done, I just delete them out of my calendar so that I know that they're done and I don't have to look at them anymore. Of course, there are to-do lists, but I also find that when I've combined scheduling with time blocking, it just makes it that much more efficient for me, because I'm not just looking at things on a list, but I'm seeing it in my calendar. I know what time it is and I can get everything done. That's how I squeeze getting this done today. Speaking of that, that is the end of this talk. So I hope that you have found it helpful, motivational, inspirational. If you want to learn any more about me and what I do, you can Google or check out my name, Melissa Maker. You can check out Clean My Space. You'll see my cleaning service business, my website, and my YouTube channel that way. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. If you want to learn more about my book, of course, it's called Clean My Space as well. And you can find more about my microfiber cloths at makersclean.com. My course is called The Decision Maker, and that's at thedecisionmaker.com. I've got tons of links for you down below so you can check that out. I want to give a special thanks to the I Am Mom Summit for having me. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and have a wonderful rest of your day.